Getting ready to buy or sell a home in 30, 60, or 90 days? Then check out BundleSelect.com to find out how you could save 20% or more on your entire transaction. Save on real estate, lending, and title. With BundleSelect.com, technology and a personal concierge are at your service to save you time and money. Bundle Select's hand-picked team of experts will compete for your business, so you'll save thousands of dollars by bundling all of these services. BundleSelect.com gives you all the control, including using your own realtor. I'm Joe Kuchera with Real Estate Radio Live, and I have been on the radio educating consumers for years. By bundling services like real estate, lending, and title, you could save tens of thousands of dollars. Act now, and this new model could save you money on your move, lower your interest rate, or cover your closing costs. Visit BundleSelect.com. That's BundleSelect.com.
The estimated minimum savings are based on a comparison with the national average. Individual results may vary, and the estimated savings are not guaranteed. Bundle Select Inc. is a licensed real estate broker. California Bureau of Real Estate Broker license number 004666902.
Welcome to Real Estate Radio Live, an informative and engaging podcast discussing everything you need to know about the world of real estate. Your host, Joe Kuchera, provides you with insight and guidance on how to buy, sell, finance, and invest in real estate. He also offers real estate tax management strategies, new construction advice, home improvement tips, and much, much more. And now, to guide you around the world of real estate, here's your host and Real Estate Radio Live team leader, Joe Kuchera.
Welcome in, Joe Kuchera with Real Estate Radio Live. Thank you for those that are tuning in and checking in via Facebook. Love the social media feeds and the comments. Keep them coming. Remember, for more information, you could always go to RERL-1492-Are.com. That's RERL-1492-Are.com. Download the podcast. That is the best way to follow the show, get the information, listen to the show when it's convenient for you. If you need to reach me during the week, remember a couple of different ways you could do that. Area code 408-838-9060 is the phone number or text. You could always email Joe at RERL-1492-Are.com. On and on. I will continue to repeat this, and I think it's just a really good idea to do so for the consumers, especially in a marketplace that is so difficult and challenging. And that is, we're going to continue to provide you with education, information, content, guests, good information to help you make wise decisions with your real estate and better educate you. There is a huge paradigm shift taking place right now in the real estate and lending industry. There really is. You've been hearing me talk about it now for a long time, and it is coming together now, kind of like the perfect storm. And what I mean by that, with the evolution of new technology, industries changing, consolidation, interest rates are going up, more competition. There's a whole slew of things that are coming to the consumer full steam ahead. So what I'm going to do is continue to help really educate you, the consumer. So I encourage you to follow these shows, download the podcasts, pass them on to your friends, family, coworkers, because there's going to be a lot of good content and information here for you to better prepare yourself for your purchase, for selling your home, for financing your home. We're going to have a lot of good information on legal aspects, tax, financial planning, a lot of different things that are going to come into play. So I encourage you to do that, and hopefully you'll see the value in the daily podcast. So today's topic is, how can you tell if someone is educating you or selling you, or you're being sold on real estate and financing? So I'm going to kind of break it down and go through this. The question again to you, the consumer, is how do you know if someone's educating you on the process of how to best sell your home, buy a home, financing a home, or are you being sold? And some of you might say, well, what do you mean being sold? I think most of it's pretty obvious. What I mean by being sold is, are you getting ready to work with a person, or you've worked with someone in the past that is more interested in selling you something and getting a commission on the loan side or the real estate side or whatever it is? Are you being sold on this? Are you being educated so that you are put into a situation where you could succeed? And that's what I'm going to do today, is talk about the difference. We're going to talk a little bit about this distinguishing differences in people in this business that are more interested in selling. And I'm not a big fan of the selling process. I know a lot of people will say, well, you're in sales. It's a general statement. I would say our business is more of a relationship business, and I believe in that. ultimately, is it sales? Do people call it sales? Yes, that's fine. But my point is, I believe in the real estate and lending side that it is more of a relationship business because it is a large transaction. It's an important transaction. It's a transaction for the most part that needs some thought process put in. It needs professionals to team up and make sure that it's a successful transaction. These are relationships, in my opinion, if you do them right and you approach it the way you approach it. Now, some people would say, no, it's more of a commodity. The way the real estate industry and lending is going, it's more of a commodity. Well, maybe. And, I think there's segments and pieces of each industry that might be categorized that way. But my belief is on the relationship side, especially on the lending and real estate, is that these are really important decisions, and it's different when you buy or sell a home or financing a home than it is buying or selling a television or a car or something of that nature. It just is. There's a lot of legal aspects. There's, you're about ready to sign up for a liability, typically the biggest liability that you have in your life on a mortgage. Do you have the right mortgage? Is this the right house for you? Is the right loan for you? Are you using the right real estate agent? Are you using the right lender? How does title and escrow play into this? So I'm going to talk a little bit about this today, and hopefully we could help you distinguish what's the difference so that when you're out interviewing people on the lending side and real estate side, you could determine whether you're being sold or you're being educated. And for those that have been following the show, that I'm a big, big fan of education and information. I think that we all should lead that way with what we do in this industry and most industries. And you usually give the consumer a better chance when you educate and inform instead of sell. Because for the person that's selling, let's talk about that first. What does it look like? What does it sound like? What kinds of things can you pick up as a consumer if you think you're being sold on something? Let's specifically talk about real estate and lending. So if you're interviewing a lender or a real estate agent and you're trying to find out if he or she is the right fit for you, and you're asking questions, let's say on the real estate side, you're getting ready to list your home, and you're asking questions of the real estate agent, tell me about the neighborhood, tell me about your marketing, tell me about your background, tell me why you're the best fit to list my home, tell me about what kind of marketing you're going to do. Do you have a team? If so, what part of the team is going to be helping me? Who am I going to be communicating with? Why are you the best person to represent me to sell my home? And so if you're sitting across the table or you're interviewing someone that's about ready to potentially list your home, that's an expensive endeavor. It's an expensive endeavor to sell your home these days. The average home in the Bay Area, $1.1 million average. That's the average. I know it goes way up, and there's some areas where it comes down. But if you're being charged 5 or 6% to sell your $1 million plus home, that's $50,000 to $60,000 of your money, $50,000 or $60,000 of your money that you're about ready to pay someone to represent to sell your home. So what does that look like? What should you be hearing? For me, when you're interviewing these people and you're talking to these people, and we could use the same on the lending side because they go hand in hand, okay? When you're asking them questions, if they avoid the questions and answer something like this, these would be red flags. So if you ask them, why are you the best person to represent to sell my home, right? Or why are you the best person for my financing? If your answers are something like this, these would be red flags. If someone said, well, wait a minute now, I've been doing this for 20 years. I am in the top 1% selling agent in this area, and I'm in the top 1% of loan producers in this area in Santa Clara County. That's a red flag. The fact that they're in the top 1% doesn't necessarily do you any good. Now, someone might say, well, sure it does, Joe, because if they're top 1%, they're doing a lot of volume. That's true. But it doesn't mean they're the right fit for you, number one. And if someone's been doing for something long enough and they're fortunate enough to have good business and they're in the top 1%, that's good. Good for them. That's great. But they didn't answer your question. Your question was, why are you the best suited to help sell my house or finance my loan on my purchase, right? So if the response is I'm in the top 1%, red flag, okay? If you get responses like that, Or if you get responses that everybody that uses me loves me, everybody that I do business with say I'm the greatest thing in the world, everybody that I use and everybody I do business with doesn't have anything negative to say to me, they love me, they all love me. Those are all red flags too, because these are self-promotional comments, and it could be that their customer service is great. I'm not saying it's not, but these are the types of red flags that you want to avoid if these come up, if these are the answers to your questions. If it's more self-promotion and talking about them and their awards and their accolades, that's not what you want to hear. The kinds of things you want to hear would be things like this. If their answers are, well, let me tell you something. Over the last 2 years, I have sold 16 homes in this zip code, in this neighborhood. And over the last 2 years, those 16 homes, I got an average of 6.3% increased sell price. In other words, the average sales price was this. I got all my clients an average of 6.3% higher than every other agent did in this area. Wow. Now that is a good answer. That's a good answer. Or, let me give you an example. If they give you an answer like this. Well, let me tell you, I've been in this neighborhood for the last 15 years, and I've represented 28% of all the sales in this neighborhood in the last 5 years. And not only have I gotten an average of 6.3% more for each of my clients, but because of my marketing contacts and because of the company that I work for, they're going to automatically put an ad in these 3 newspapers for you, and we're going to get you some additional exposure in these different ways. So those are the kinds of things that you want to hear when you're interviewing someone, whether you're being sold or you're being educated. See, when a real estate agent educates you or a lender educates you, that puts people at ease because you're giving results and data and feedback that helps the consumer make an educated decision whether they want to use you or not. You could be the greatest person in the world. You could have 16,000 people that say they all love you on Facebook and social media, but that's not necessarily going to do anything for the person that's trying to find out if you're the best to sell their home or finance their home. So the same thing on the lending side. If you're interviewing a lender and you ask those questions and the lender says, I'm in the top 1%, that's why you should use me. I've been in this business for 20 years. We have every program known to man, and we have the lowest rates in the Santa Clara County. Okay, well, again, what does that do for the consumer? What does that do? So that to me would be a red flag. Everybody's got all the programs available. If you're in lending, everybody has access to those programs. Now, there could be brokers, different bankers, that's a different story. Those are the kinds of things that would be red flags. What kinds of things now would you want to hear from a lender when you're asking if they're the right person, the right fit for you? So if you ask those questions, why would you be the right fit for me? And the lender said something like this. Well, let me tell you, I may not be the right fit for you, but what I'd like to do right now is spend the next 20 to 30 minutes, and I want to find out what your goals and objectives are, what your financing is like, what your strategies are on this purchase, what are your fears, what are your concerns, what are the things you're really targeting. Let me find out a little bit more about you and your family and the decision you're about to make here, because this is a very important decision, and I want to make sure that I'm the right person, not only the right person that you want to work with, but I want to make sure that I have the right team, resources available to deliver on the promise that you deserve, and I want to be able to execute on that. So if we can, let's first go through a series of questions and find out what's important to you, and then you could make the decision whether I'm the right fit for you. That would be the thumbs up. So someone that answers you with something like that gives you some concrete, I think, sense that they care about you and they're not selling, they're educating. So then that person goes on to ask you questions like this. What kind of income do you have? Is it W-2? Are you self-employed? Do you make commissions? Do you get bonuses? Do you have any partnerships? Do you have K-1s? How do you get your income? Where are you going to get your down payment? Where is that down payment coming from? Is any of that down payment gift? If so, what is the percentage of gift in that down payment? Things like this are going to help people come up with some decisions and solutions on their financing. So then you continue that conversation. If this is the right person, if they're educating and not selling you, they're going to find out what your comfort level is. Are you comfortable in a 30-year fixed? Or you're a young couple, what's the plans over the next 4 to 5 years? Because if you think you're going to have this house for 4 to 5 years and you're going to do a move-up, then we might want to look at a different program for you. If you think this house is the end of all end and you will never move from this house again and you love it that much, then let's talk more about a 30-year fix, because we don't want to get into a situation where you have an adjustable loan 4 or 5 years from now. But if you say, listen, we're a young family, we plan to have 2 or 3 kids over the next several years, this house is not going to be big enough, we're going to be in a move-up situation, we'll probably end up renting this house, but we can't see being in this house for more than 4 or 5 years. Great. All right, let's talk about a shorter-term loan. It'll not only fit your needs of what we're going to execute here, but also, even better, there's a good chance we get you a lower rate on an ARM, adjustable rate mortgage, so that you could save money over the next 4 or 5 years. Because if you're going to sell the house, that's a different story. Now, if you say, well, we'd really like to rent the house, but we're not sure what the market's going to be like, we're not sure what we're going to, if we're going to be able to want that liability, we don't know if we want to be a landlord. So a lot of those things go into play. But you could address that as well and talk about what that might mean later on. And tax benefits, what that means when you rent a house, those types of things come into play for sure. These are the type of questions that you want to ask, and those are the type of answers hopefully you'll get from people that are educating you and not selling you. If you're being sold, remember that the easiest way to do that, we're going to take a break in just a minute, so I'm going to finish this up, and then I'm going to come back and go into more detail about this. But as I close out the first segment here, the easy way to remember this is if you're sitting down with someone or you have a phone conversation, if that conversation is more about them, their accolades, the numbers they close, anything personal, just be careful of that. Now, if someone wants to talk about that and then they dive deeper into a lot of the stuff, the reason why they're the best for you, that's a different story. But stay away from people who can't give you concrete evidence and information of why they are the best suited to help you represent the sell or buy of your home or the financing. Remember, it's about having them take you on a tour, a guided tour, through an educational process that's going to help you feel more comfortable when you make that ultimate decision. That's the way it should feel. It shouldn't be rushed. It shouldn't be forced. And it shouldn't feel like you're being sold on something. Come on, hurry up, make a decision. I mean, come on, I'm in the top 1%. What else do you need to know? Look at my car. Look at my house. Are you kidding me? I'm super successful. You got to use me. That's one angle. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to come back. I'm going to continue this conversation. For those who are on Facebook, stay with us. Today we're talking about how do you know as a consumer if you're being sold or educated when you're getting ready to make a decision on your real estate and financing. This is Joe Kuchera of the Real Estate Radio Live. Stick with us. We're back to the continue in just a minute.
For more information on today's program, visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com.
Getting ready to buy or sell a home in 30, 60, or 90 days? Then check out BundleSelect.com to find out how you could save 20% or more on your entire transaction. Save on real estate, lending, and title. With BundleSelect.com, technology and a personal concierge are at your service to save you time and money. Bundle Select's hand-picked team of experts will compete for your business, so you'll save thousands of dollars by bundling all of these services. BundleSelect.com gives you all the control, including using your own realtor. I'm Joe Kuchera with Real Estate Radio Live, and I have been on the radio educating consumers for years. By bundling services like real estate, lending, and title, you could save tens of thousands of dollars. Act now, and this new model could save you money on your move, lower your interest rate, or cover your closing costs. Visit BundleSelect.com. That's BundleSelect.com.
The estimated minimum savings are based on a comparison with a national average. Individual results may vary, and the estimated savings are not guaranteed. Bundle Select Inc. is a licensed real estate broker. California Bureau of Real Estate Broker license number 004666902.
Welcome back to Real Estate Radio Live. For more information on today's topic or guests, just visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com. Again, your host for today's edition of Real Estate Radio Live, Joe Kuchera.
Welcome back in. Joe Kuchera with Real Estate Radio Live. Thank you for those that are following us on Facebook. Be sure to let us know what you think. Give us some feedback. Oftentimes, if you are making comments or giving us feedback, we'll get back to you after the show. But thank you for following us. Thank you again for all those consumers that continue to download the podcast. We're excited about the show. We're excited about 2018. We've been telling you for years there's a lot of exciting things coming. One of those things, we'll hear them more and more, is bundleselect.com. Again, that's bundleselect.com. We have a great group of people that put together an incredible online experience for you, the consumer, to go on and manage your real estate transactions in one location. You could bundle all your services, real estate, lending, title, all in one place with pre-negotiated deals with some of the top people in this business. And here's the exciting part. If you have your realtor, if you have your lender, you could use them as well if they want to participate in the program. If you don't, we have professionals that are lined up, exclusive partners with Bundle Select that are ready to help you at a very high level. We're very, very excited about it. Today's topic is, how do you know, as a consumer, if you're being educated or sold when you're about ready to engage with someone to help you buy or sell a home or finance? It's interesting. I saw this article today. I'm going to talk more about it in the next couple of days, but it was very appropriate. It was put out by Zillow, actually. Is today? I'm not sure if today's the 27th. Maybe it is. Did it come out today? What are the hidden costs of selling a home? And they gave this breakdown. It's a great illustration here of the hidden costs in the largest 35 metro areas in the United States. So some of you won't be surprised at what the most expensive place is, the cost of selling a home. And the reason why I want to bring this up is because as the topic today we're talking about, are you being sold, are you being educated? When you get ready to sell a home or even buy a home, there's a lot of money on the line. And don't be mistaken, as a buyer, there is still a lot of money on the line. Don't let someone tell you, oh, don't worry about it. If you're a buyer, you're not paying anything. Yes, you are. You are paying to be represented as that transaction. You're getting a loan out. You're getting this loan. You're paying a mortgage. You're paying fees. The real estate agent makes commission when they're representing a buyer. Absolutely, there's a cost associated with it. So don't let anybody tell you as a buyer, hey, listen, you don't have to worry. There's no cost associated with it. Yes, there is. This is an educational process. Yes, there are costs associated with you as a buyer. And we'll take you through those step by step. You have to trust but verify. You've probably heard that statement before, and I'm a big believer in that. You know, trust someone if you feel like they're doing right by you, but verify. Trust but verify, right? Trust but verify. Just look into it. See what's going on. So these costs are tremendous. So these are top 35 metro areas. I won't really go through all of them, but so number 35 in the top 35, the average cost to sell a home in Cleveland, Ohio is $8,200, $8,250 roughly, okay? That is number 35. So let's do this. Let's do the top 5. So this would be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So 5, if we make our way up, because I'm not going to spend time going through all these different ones, is San Diego, California. That is the 5th highest, most expensive for selling your home in the 35 largest metro areas in the United States. San Diego, California is roughly $34,500 to sell your home. And that's, again, where do these numbers come from? These numbers come from the average sales price, the average real estate price in those areas. There's a lot that goes into this, and they're also factoring a 6% cost for sale. And remember, there's property tax, transfer tax, those types of things. So that's number 5. Number 4, Washington, Seattle, Washington has made their way up. That's amazing. They're in the top 10 in most categories now. So that is a little bit more expensive. But, you know, some of these states, what's interesting, Seattle's one of them, Washington has an expensive transfer tax. One of the most expensive transfer taxes I'm looking at this, and actually in those 35, the top 35 categories of the metro areas. That's interesting. Okay, number 3, most expensive or most costly to sell a home is Los Angeles, California, and that is $55,700 roughly. $55,700, the rough cost to sell the average home. Now remember, a lot of this depends on the price of the home. This is just an overall average. And then number 1 is San Jose, California. San Jose, California, the average cost $73,500 in change to sell a home. Now remember, if you do this easy math, it's a little easier. If the average price is $1 million in the Bay Area, and it's a little bit more. It's about 1.1. If you use that number, you just use $1 million to make this simple. 6%, if you pay 6% to sell your house, that's $60,000. It just does not include any other transfer tax, title, escrow, the things that are going to also cost you. So you could bet that it's going to be $65,000 to $70,000, just as this example is here. So this is $73,000, so that's probably right on the money, to sell your home at an average cost of $1 million roughly in the Bay Area. And that goes up, obviously, as the more expensive the home. So the reason why this is important is the way I started the show is I talked about, are you being sold? Are you being educated? The reason why I bring these costs up, because these are real costs associated with costing you, the consumer, money for one of the largest transactions you'll ever do, typically in your lifetime. So the reason I continue to bring this up is because you deserve to be represented by the best person that's going to take care of you, and it's going to be reasonable when it comes to what they charge and what the fees and the costs are. It's that simple. That's what happens when you have a more educated and informed consumer. They expect more. I've been through this before. You hear me talk about this on a regular basis with my show. We have a more educated and informed consumer. Good, Joe, we understand. I think we all would agree, right? We do. Okay, what's that mean? What that means is when you have a more educated and informed consumer, they expect more. They expect less. They expect things faster, quicker, more competitive. They expect to save. They expect you to be competitive. Do we like some of this stuff? Do we like the way the industry's changing? No, I mean, you love things to maybe stay the same, but that's not reality. Things don't stay the same. They just don't. So adapt, adjust, figure out what the consumer wants, deliver it to the consumer the best you can. That's the message that I have. This is important for those consumers to know. Be sure, before you work with someone, to make sure that you're getting the value. This is the one of the examples I wanted to bring this up because most of you know it's super expensive to do a real estate transaction. And if you're buying, don't be, again, misled by people that say, don't worry about it, it doesn't cost you anything to buy. Yes, it does cost you something to buy. If you work with us, let me just tell you this, you'll get more and more information on a regular basis. If you work with the right organization, the right company, you work with us, you work with Bundle Select, you're going to get a benefit depending on the purchase you make, depending on the loan size you have. I could tell you right now, you're going to get a big enough benefit with an average purchase price of $1 million or more and an average loan amount of $500,000 or more. You are going to get a big enough benefit under the Bundle Select program in order to buy your interest rate down and potentially pay for all your closing costs, or a combination, or both, or pay for a move. These are the kinds of things that are a benefit to you when you are educated, informed, and have this information in front of you to help you make these decisions. Just make sure before you pull that trigger, before you decide to sell your home, buy a home, finance your property, make sure you're working with someone that is educating you and not selling you. And that really is the message today. Just in a couple more minutes, I want to summarize and kind of review as we move into this market. What's going to happen is here we are coming at the end of March. My guess is as April hits, we're going to get more and more homes on the market. We all hope there's more homes that come on the market because the inventory is still very low. All of us hope there's more homes that come on the market. Everyone, because there's a lot of buyers out there that are frustrated because there's not enough inventory. So all of us are hoping for that. So we're getting geared up and ready for the spring season. We're getting geared up and ready for people to go out and buy homes. We're getting geared up, ready for people to come and list their homes, finance their homes. Make sure you're working with the right team of people that are going to take care of you. And that is the message. And the last thing I'll say before I close out today is remember, interest rates are going up. So for those people right now that are skeptical or wondering, gosh, I don't know if I want to sell my home because interest rates are up. I got this 3.5% interest rate. If I go buy a home, now it's 4.5%. Guess what? It may not be 4.5%. Contact us, and we could show you how to buy that interest rate down. We could show you how to buy that interest rate down with the benefits that you get through the transaction that does not come from your pocket. We could show you how to buy that interest rate down so that these are some of the strategies you could use to be a move-up buyer or when you sell your house to go buy another home for the financing. The reason why that's important before we close out again today is remember, interest rates are going to be up. They're going to go up a little higher. We see them continue going up this year and next year. Here's the key. make sure you have a strategy to find out how you could buy that interest rate down, and we could help you do that. So, all right, we're going to wrap things up for today. Thanks again for checking in. This is Joe Kuchera with Real Estate Radio Live. Remember, for more information, you could always go to RERL-1492-Are.com. That's RERL-1492-Are.com. Download the podcast, share it with your family, friends, and coworkers. We'll be back with you tomorrow. Jack Russo is going to be on with us tomorrow. That's right, our schedule. Most of you have been following the show. Jack Russo is on with us typically once a week, talking about something new in Silicon Valley. He's a real estate attorney, very, very sought after in terms of helping entrepreneurs and startup companies in the Silicon Valley. So he's here to share his time and expertise with you, the consumers, in what's going on in the Silicon Valley, how to start a company from A to Z. We're going to cover more of that tomorrow. Thanks again for checking in today. This is Joe Kuchera with Real Estate Radio Live. Take care and have a great afternoon.
You've been listening to Real Estate Radio Live. For more information on today's program, visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com. Subscribe to our podcast. Discover more at RERadiolive.com.